Okay, this is going to be a very, very sensitive subject. Do you think that only women get raped? Like men are not getting raped by women? Men are getting raped by women. They actually never have the guts to come forward and then talk about it. What is happening? Do you know that? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The video and audio is something that always had some sort of issues. We've been trying our best to improve it. And because finally we have slightly more quieter place. But we had separate chairs on opposite sides. Do you think men and women are on the opposite sides? Are we really on different teams?
Are we talking about siblings? Are we talking about partners? You know, like as siblings, we get into fights, we get into all kinds of trouble. But at the end of the day, when we have something like someone from outside come in and wanting to harm someone from our family, we all come together and stand as one, fight this person. But when it comes to partners, man, there are times that I feel like we are not on the same team, like we have different agendas.
If we were on the same team, I don't think any woman would have the urge to say, I wish all men disappeared from the face of this earth. And yes, I've heard that. We are here to live together. We are here to coexist. This is not a competition to show who is going to be better. But it seems like that's how both genders are taking it, not just one. So why are we just fighting against each other? We all have common enemies in this world. Like always for people, we have common enemies. We need to get together and fight the enemies, fight against the problem. Just like every relationship, when they have problems, they fight against each other. When there's an external problem coming in, we fight against that problem. Why do we have to wait for that external problem to kick in for us to be more in unison? Open the previous videos talking about men are not doing this to women, women are not doing this to men, why women don't go past their first date. So basically talking about one gender blaming the other. There are moments when you've taken one gender's sides and I've taken sides for the other one. Well, why are we fighting against each other? Shouldn't we be together working towards a common goal? Way too many women claim that this world is going to be a safer place without men. Problems like rapes won't happen. Catcalling won't happen. These are the claims put forward by women. If actually men don't exist in this world, don't you think that there are going to be masculine women amongst women who take over and try to become the new men? There are going to be women who are going to be bullies. They're going to be women just like in prisons, right? There are going to be women who would actually start their luck with catcalling. They're going to be eve-teasing.
I know what you mean.
So I don't think wiping men completely off the earth is a solution for everything.
So you're not agreeing to the fact that we are on opposite teams?
We are on opposite teams. I wish we were not.
I'm going to have to ask you to elaborate on that.
Let's talk about a very touchy subject. Rape. If a woman is getting raped, the solution is not to wipe all men of the planet Earth. So let's say for rape, if a woman gets raped by a man, the solution I don't think is wiping all men out of this world. There are men who are doing good for the community, for the world, for other women. Let's not forget that.
Okay, this is going to be a very, very sensitive subject. Do you think that only women get raped? Like men are not getting raped by women? Men are getting raped by women. They actually never have the guts to come forward and then talk about it. But it's happening. Do you know that?
I agree, and but let me play devil's advocate here. Often with this discussion, what comes up is also the number of men who rape women versus number of women who rape men. The latter is lesser. Lesser doesn't mean it does not exist. Lesser does not mean that it doesn't hurt as much. It's still sad it's happening. But what happens is if if you are having a conversation with a woman about how about men and women not being on the same side, why do you want men to be wiped off this earth? A woman could say, hang on, one of the reasons is because of our safety. Men rape women. The man could say, yeah, but women rape men too.
Okay.
And then the woman could say, maybe you're right, women might rape men too. There's a might there, not a guarantee how they say might. But how many men get raped compared to women? And I can't even disagree to that fact. Yes. But the question should not be about men and women here. If a man talks about how men are being raped, that needs to be addressed. When a woman talks about, if you come up to me and say, and I haven't eaten anything for the last 10 days, it doesn't make any sense for me to say, oh, did you know that I haven't eaten anything for 12 days? It is not a competition here.
See, you're missing the whole point. I said there are lots of men out there that are being raped, but they never actually have the guts to come forth and talk about it. Men in general are not coming out to talk about the fact that they've been raped. So you see where I'm getting at? This is what if these men are forever traumatized and they have the same wish that all women are wiped out of this planet?
Yes, the number of men who are raped will be way lesser than number of women raped. No doubt about it. But that does not mean that we ignore the fact that men are being raped. If I am telling you that, hey, men are being raped, we don't have to mention about how women are being raped too. These are actually two different topics. We're addressing a problem. What I'm trying to say is how we don't have to treat men and women from to be of opposite teams. We are together. When we are together, when we're addressing one person's problem, let's just talk about that problem. And then there's another person's problem. Let's talk about that. Does that make sense to you now?
It does.
What is a part of this you might disagree?
I think I'm gonna disagree to this one thing that you've said. I think it's the part where you said like wiping out a whole gender. These are the ingredients of extinction, right? I think, I was actually the person who said, I don't think we're on the same team, but I'm going to have to flip that a bit. I think we need each other. I think we're on the same team. I think we have a lot of disagreements on different things, but I don't really think we are on opposite teams. Men need women, and women need men. If there are no men in the planet, women can't function without men. And the same thing goes with men. We cannot function without women. I mean, how are we going to reproduce if we're not by each other's side?
We need both men and women in this world to reproduce. There are certain skills that a man has, a woman probably might not. and the other way around as well. You said you don't agree with the fact that I'm saying that men should be wiped off the earth. I don't agree with it either. That's not my claim. But do I blame women for saying that? It might not be what they genuinely want. It might be just their anger and their frustration out of what's happening that's making them say it. There would be a minority of men who push it a bit too much, that forces women to say what they're saying. Minors being raped. There are old nuns who are being raped. Not even a fair explanation for why these things happen. So, yeah, men and women should always be on the same team, even though we are often, when it comes to these conversations, we happen to be on different teams. We need to fight together. We have common enemies, multiple of them. Let's fight together. That's it. Now, when a man opens a door for a woman, let the woman not think the man is doing that because he thinks the women are weak. Let chivalry be appreciated rather than the woman not having the door open and then later going around and talking about how men are not that gentle anymore. Chivalry does not exist. In a way, you have promoted, and you are probably the reason why chivalry is dying. Because you're talking about equality, and you're talking about how you do not need men around, and you're talking about how you can do things on your own. When a man opens a door, if a woman's asking, hang on, what makes you think that I need your help? I'm an independent woman. I can do this on my own. You are killing chivalry here. Don't do that. Interestingly, on the other hand, if I were to say, if a woman was to make a sandwich for you, I don't think men need to actually tell them, hey, hang on, I can do this on my own. You don't need to make me. You don't hear men say that. Am I now? You could have people say, yeah, that is because men are selfish and they just want the sandwich, or maybe we need the sandwich. I like sandwiches myself.
Who doesn't, bruh?
Who doesn't?
Oh my god, that's funny. You know, have you seen my facial expression when you say that? Who doesn't need a sandwich? I mean, I would love someone to make me a sandwich, bruh.
So, similarly, when a man opens a door for a woman, appreciate it. Let the door open for you. Let chivalry be celebrated. There is nothing wrong in celebrating the gender roles that we had. Valentine's Day, who gets the gift? A wedding anniversary. Majority of relationships, who gets a gift?
Woman, bruh.
Now, as a woman, you can't have the gift on Valentine's Day. You can't have gifts for your anniversary and then talk about how it needs to be equal. You talk about equality, then ask yourself, how many of you actually would be giving roses to your husbands? You could say that, oh, my husband does not like roses, but have you tried giving him one? Maybe you haven't. Valentine's Day, is that a day just for women? Or is that the day for love?
Now, this is the part an independent woman will be watching and she will say, oh, I can buy myself roses. I can buy myself flowers. They do it all the time. I hear this every time. I buy myself flowers. I take myself out for dinner. I take myself out for shopping.
Even though they are able to buy things for themselves, They do still expect their man to get things for them, though.
All this is just to put on a show.
They still expect a man who is with them, their husband or boyfriend or a close friend, to give them something. They feel like, as a man, there are certain things that you should do. So now my question is, why is equality like a buffet? Certain dishes that you want to pick and certain that you don't. Not my words. A lot of people have said this in the past. So I personally am not blaming someone who says wipe men out of this world, because in a way we are doing it. We are making them say it. At the same time, I do not appreciate women say that, because they do not realize how important we are. We both important in this world, and I don't think we realize that.
That is so nice. That is well constructed, and I like the way you put it out there. I remember it like yesterday. How can I ever forget that? You know, I don't want this to be on the camera. But I was, bro. This is the first time I actually tell anyone about it. Who am I gonna tell?
Contrary to the popular belief, when a man is being touched by a woman, there's exactly the same feeling when a woman is being touched by a man without the permission. It's the same.